Sabbath day. He was already gone when Mary came, and it was dawning on the Sabbath. The Sabbath wasn't even, it was dawning on the first day. The first day wasn't even in yet. Exactly. Modern day Saturday. So that tells you that Christ rose on the Sabbath. Now what? Can you remember the Sabbath now? Why can't you do it? Why can't you follow it and you know it's true? This is why. Romans 10:1. I guess I'll go into the creation next week, but it's one thing I want to show, definitely show out of that. I'm going to show you all one thing just to give y'all some insight on what I wanted to bring forth on the Sabbath. This is why, bless you, brother. Let's go to Romans 10:1. This is the reason. Even when you show them, they will reject it. Read.
Romans chapter 10 verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved.
So Paul was praying for Israel that they might be saved. Now, why wasn't Paul praying for the other nations or the other people or the Gentiles at this point? Anyway, why was he strictly praying for Israel right here? Yeah, that's one. But what else? Yeah, but that's not really it. Think about it. What people needed prayer? The other nations were in their glory ruling and conquering the children of Israel. You think the Romans were caring about Paul's prayer? The Romans were ruling everything. They were the Caesars. They owned the earth. They was taking the earth down by war. They had everything they needed. It was the children of Israel that was suffering, that lost the promise, that needed prayer. Saved from who? The serpent, which was a Roman Empire, had a specific agenda to kill off God's people. Even back then. So he was praying that we could be preserved. So it says, brethren, my heart desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel, that they might be saved. Might. Read.
Verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High.
So the Israelites know the Most High. They have a zeal for him. They want to find him. They want to worship him. But what?
But not according to knowledge.
That's the Israelites' problem. They have a zeal of the Most High. They know he exists. They love him. They want to connect with him. But they don't want to deal with the knowledge of him. So they love him according to what the Gentiles give them. The Arabs give them. Or the East Indians give them. Or the Romans give them. They have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. They don't know who they are. They don't know who their God is. They don't know why they're in this condition. They're perplexed. They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. And then you have people that can see the truth, but would rather hear the lie. They'd rather hear the lie. Because Pride won't allow us to admit that what we learned was wrong. It's pride. You mean to tell me I didn't gave all my life, my money, my time to a lie? Yes, we all have. Yes. So people, when people start thinking, I'm going to tell you, a lot of these preachers I've talked with, I've spoken with, they see this as true. But then they're looking at how can they now deal with their relationships, their life invested in this. Their whole life revolves around a lie. Like, man, listen, I'm a smart guy. I could not have been lied to this whole time and not acknowledge it or not know it. This is the pride of our people. They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. And that's why Paul was praying that they might be saved. Like, I hope they can make it. They don't have the knowledge of themselves. That's the problem. That's our biggest problem in this earth. We don't have no knowledge. And then we claim that we have knowledge of the Most High, but don't even know ourselves. We live and we actually give credence to our ignorance. We give honor to our ignorance. It says, "Brother, my heart desire and prayer for the Most High, for Israel, that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge." Now listen to the next part. Read.
Verse 3. For they, being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness.
So because they're not taught about the Most High's righteousness, you can't learn it in these churches and in these religious institutions. Because they're not taught about the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments and who they are and what is the true purpose of this earth. Read.
And going about to establish their own righteousness.
So because they haven't been taught about the true righteousness, they have no choice but to establish their own religion. Let's make it up. I don't know, so I might as well make this up. I'm going to make up the God I want to serve. I'll just make him up. He'll be pleasing unto me because I can accept that God. Why? I created him in my mind. I created this guy. So I know he's pleased with me. But we didn't step outside the box and find out what the God of the Hebrews or the God of all gods expected from us or want from us. Right? Read on.
Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
So they made up their own God. They established their own righteousness and have it submitted themselves to the righteousness of the Most High. They excuse them breaking the law purposely. Then they try to use Paul to do it. Can't do that. Because Paul made it clear. He didn't know unrighteousness. He didn't know what was right or wrong unless he knew the law. So he found the law was righteous. But the laws that lead to killing people and death, he says you're not going to deal with that in this church. You're not going to execute the laws of death on the people. You're not going to kill people up in here. That's what he means, that we're not under law but under grace. We're not under the punishment that comes with breaking the law. Y'all with that? Y'all understand that? All right. Now, I hope you all got that on the Sabbath, understand what the Sabbath is. We're really not supposed to shop on the Sabbath and do our own acquaintance on the Sabbath or our own pleasures on the Sabbath. Let's get it in Isaiah. Like 58 and 13, right? Read it. Isaiah 58 and 13. Now, mind you, everything we read, every scripture we read came directly out of the Bible. So the Bible is true. The Bible is true. Isaiah 58 and 13, read that.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath,
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, read,
from doing thy own pleasure, excuse me, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight.
that means you turn the Most High Sabbath into a party. You're doing what you want to do on the Sabbath days, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Now you know this society, in this society, that's the day you get it on. Okay? You be everything you don't want to be on that day. Read it again.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath,
Go ahead.
from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Most High, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways,
Not doing thine own ways. Read.
nor finding thy own pleasure.
Nor finding thy own pleasure. So we must abstain from our own pleasure on that day. The only pleasure we get is helping other people on that day, like Christ did. We can read, teach, reverence the Most High, pray. And see, believe it or not, this is the key in returning back to the Most High. This is the key. Because we know the other 9 of the 10 commandments. That's common sense. Don't disrespect your parents. Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. Don't kill. Even if we're not following those in this earth, we still know they exist and they bear witness of our conscience. But the Sabbath haven't been in our conscience to follow at all.
Can I have a question? You know, on the Sunday, I don't know if you covered this. On the
Yeah.
Sunday, that is tradition of the Sabbath day. No.
No, Sunday is tradition Satan's day. That's a day where you worship the sun, the S-U-N. I covered it earlier.
Okay, sorry.
And Sunday is the first day of the week. The Lord said, remember what day?
Sabbath.
The Sabbath day. Which day was that?
Friday.
It was the 7th day.
7th day.
Go to Genesis 2:1, brother. You go there. Read Genesis 2:1. Read it. Go ahead. Read it.